good afternoon from a very dry, warm and sunny England. I know, I can't keep track of where in the world I am. I've spent a lot of time in the last few weeks moving around from country to country and region to region, and it's all getting a bit confusing. Even I'm confused as to where I am. So today I thought I would do a follow-up to the video that I did a few weeks ago, which was something like what I did to feel better at 52. That video was very well received. I've had loads of people write to me saying that I've inspired them to try and get on a fitness journey and eat better and maybe lose a bit of weight. And loads of people have contacted me about that, and it's really, really great to hear that I actually maybe inspired or helped somebody change a habit. Really, really nice. So I thought I would answer some of the questions that came through. Let's go this way, Indy, and just give you a bit more insight into what I did, and what it was like for me. So first of all, why? Why did I decide to change the way I was eating and look at my diet and completely separate it? God, I can't speak. Completely change it and give it a shake up? Because of menopause. Because my menopause, which I think I'm pretty much through now, to be honest with you. I'm not really sure. I've never had any tests done or anything. But I did put on quite a bit of weight. I went up almost 2 dress sizes over the last few years, and I felt extremely uncomfortable in my body. I've always been very skinny, and even though I wasn't big, I was bigger than I'd ever been. None of my clothes fitted anymore. Everything felt uncomfortable, and I felt very uncomfortable in myself, and I was not happy. So that's why I decided to change. And it sort of, I was thinking about doing it in New Year, and then I thought, oh no, we all know that that never works. Nobody ever manages to keep hold of a New Year resolution. So I thought I'd wait. And then on the 21st of January, Dad said, hey, we're all going to Dubai and there's a beach and you can go swimming. And I thought, nobody's going to see me in a swimsuit this year. And that was my wake-up call. That's what got me started. Hold on, let me just tie up Indy. There's another dog. Growly dog. Okay. You want to be free again? You do want to be free. Ready? Wait. Go. That's a happy bark. So we're walking along the beautiful River Mole, which is very low at the moment, but very pretty. So we're going to walk along here while we're talking. So let's quickly finish talking about the menopause. My menopause sort of went okay-ish. I never went onto HRT. It was never offered to me, and I don't think it would have been offered to me. In Italy, it's also all very, very hush-hush still. There's no sort of awareness about menopause. I actually went to a doctor to ask her if I could have some tests done, if we could consider anything, and she basically said, just get on with it. You don't need any tests done. And she was a woman in her 60s, so no sympathy there. And I asked Carlo's mum as well, and she said, yeah, it's tough, just get on with it. So that's sort of the general attitude, and nobody I know there really seems to talk about it between themselves. So I just got on with it. Some days I felt like I was going to explode. Carlo probably bore the brunt of it for a while, and I do feel like I'm at the other side now. But anyway, I got through it and didn't have a huge amount of symptoms. I never really had any hot flashes, but I definitely did put on weight. That was probably the biggest visual symptom. I've got notes here. I'm going to have to remind myself what I'm supposed to be talking about. Otherwise, I'll go off and talk about something else. Let's see. Right, how did I up my protein naturally? Well, I learnt what foods have got protein in them and made sure I ate a lot of them. So basically, I did add protein powder to my breakfast. I add 1 scoop of vanilla protein powder every morning to my yogurt and thin it out with a bit of milk and then stick in some fruit. Well, you've all seen my breakfast, you know what that is. And so I do add a bit more there. Then at lunchtime, I would normally have maybe, I'd alternate actually between like a salmon fillet or a chicken breast with vegetables and some rice or a little bit of potato. Sometimes I'd have a chicken wrap and I put lots of salad in it, and I used the app Chronometer to record everything that I was eating, and I could tell with the app, it would basically tell me if I was eating enough protein, but enough of everything really. It was really, really helpful. It helped me with the measurements, how much I should be eating. And I know that you all want more recipes from me, so I will eventually do that. But I really did for the first 3 months stick to the same recipes that worked for me. So for example, I would have maybe 2 scrambled eggs with 2 egg whites, and then eat that with some spinach and mushrooms and maybe a bit of crumbled feta into it and some squash. That was one of the staple meals. Chicken stir-fried with broccoli, red pepper, onion, I showed that in a recent video. Lentil soup, which is like mixed lentils and peas and stuff, made into a thick soup, which is another staple. It was a bit cooler back then. It was in January, February and March, so I wouldn't want to eat that now. It's far too hot. Salmon with vegetables and maybe a few little potatoes or something. The burger bowl, which I know I did put on a video, but maybe that was just on my Patreon channel. But yes, I really did stick to the same recipes, and I mean, you can look online, best recipes for, oh look at Indy, look. She usually hates the water, but this little stream is quite shallow. So she's being very brave, aren't you? You just like to stick your head under, don't you? Is that fun? You'll get water up your nose. Yeah, you will. I think I want to join her. It's lovely. Another question that came up a lot was, what did I do to substitute all my snacking? Because I was a huge snacker, and I think, to be honest with you, now looking back, the snacking was probably one of the main causes of all the weight gain, because I was doing a huge amount of snacking. That does look so inviting. Maybe I will just take my shoes and socks off and go in. Should I come in with you? Oh, I should have maybe... We met a fisherman here the other day. He caught a massive fish. So hopefully I don't see one of them, because that's not really fun. Oh, not at all deep. It's literally, I mean, this is actually a drive across, because the tractors drive across and go into that field there. So it's lovely. Last time I did this was in France a few years ago. Anyhow, snack substitutes. So what did I do to substitute all of my snacking? Well, to be honest with you, the first few weeks I was starving the whole time. I was really, really hungry all the time. And I just gritted my teeth and got through it. But I did have, for example, I'd have an apple as like a mid-morning snack if I felt like I really needed something. Just an apple. And a big glass of water, literally a pint of water, and that would pretty much fill me up again and I'd be okay. Then another snack that I would have in the afternoon was so you know the rice cakes, you can also get corn cakes as well, made out of corn instead of rice, and I prefer the corn ones. So I'd have 2 corn cakes with a smear of Philadelphia Light and a tiny bit of Marmite on top for a bit of flavour, and that would sort of get me through before dinner. And it was a learning curve, it really was. It was hard the first 4 weeks, but I was determined. I was just so determined that I was going to feel good this summer, that it was worth the hunger pangs and the non-snacking and the feeling that I was missing out on yummy food just to get to where I am now. Why have you come out? Come back in. Come and join me. Did I have to give up wine? That was another question I got quite a lot. I don't drink wine. I stopped drinking alcohol 9 years ago, and that was probably a big help. But yeah, I haven't had any alcohol for 9 years, so I didn't have to think about that, because I know that is one of the big things that's very hard for people to give up on, and I didn't have to worry about it. I don't drink alcohol. I've never really gone into why, but basically I drank too much. I wasn't like a raging alcoholic or anything, but I definitely was drinking too much and never felt like I had enough. So I knew it was time to give up, so I did. I don't drink caffeine. I'm slightly intolerant to caffeine, so I don't have caffeine. And so I already am very limited with what I drink, and that's fine. So that wasn't a problem for me. I didn't give up chocolate. I factored a square or two of chocolate into my daily meal plan. So after every lunch and every dinner, I would have a square of dark chocolate. And I used to hate dark chocolate. Before it, I actually preferred milk chocolate, but my taste buds have changed, and now I prefer a really good dark chocolate. So that's another thing that's changed for the better, really. We're in between the Heathrow and Gatwick flight path here, so there's so many planes and helicopters and stuff that go past literally all the time, so it does get very, very noisy here. Right, now I've got wet feet. I'm going to sit down here with my feet in the sun and get my feet dry before I put my shoes back on. Now, let's see, what else have we got to talk about? Why did I have to get desserts? So desserts, that's another thing. Living in Italy, you don't want to give up desserts, do you? So I let myself have one cheat meal a week. So every Friday night we've got like a little bit of a tradition in Tuscany that we all go out and have a meal with friends. And I decided that that would be the night where I would eat anything I wanted. But once I'd got into the routine of eating, and I actually didn't want to go mad, and I would still eat, like I'd have like a grilled chicken or a pizza, just a margarita or something. What else would I have? Oh well, in Tuscany I'm in a steak that's got protein in it, so I'd have something like that. But then I'd have a tiramisu afterwards for dessert, and that one tiramisu a week would be fine. That's all I needed after, because I invented that chocolate pudding with the fiocchi di latte, the cottage cheese. That pretty much got me through, so I didn't feel like I was missing out on desserts. And another thing I've recently discovered is apparently that cottage cheese thing, if you're craving ice cream, if you freeze it, it tastes like ice cream. And that's something I haven't tried yet, but that's something we should try as well. How did I get through the first month? The first month, as I said, was very, very tough. And it was just perseverance, just the thought of being able to wear whatever I want, be able to go out in a swimsuit and be confident in myself and not worry and not have to even like rummage through my wardrobe trying to find something that actually fitted me. That got me through. And it was really hard because you do get to the point where you're not losing weight and you think, this is not working, there's no point me carrying on, I just want to eat something yummy. But that's pretty much when it starts kicking in. And with me, I think it was about 5 or 6 weeks that there was no change on the scale, nothing was happening, I didn't feel any different, and I was getting really frustrated. But I'd been watching a lot of Instagram people who sort of like promote this and tell you how to do it, and everyone was saying just get through those first weeks, the weight will start to drop off, you will start to notice changes, you will feel better, just be patient, don't give up, because most people tend to give up at the very last second just before things are about to change. So I kept going, and then things changed, and then the weight just, for me it just came off really quickly. It took 3 months, and I haven't talked about how much I've lost because I don't think that's relevant to anybody but me. There's no point mentioning numbers because, let's face it, and most of you probably don't even know how tall I am, how much I weighed before, how much I weigh now, and it's probably not similar to how tall you are or how much you weigh or weighed or whatever. So there's no point me mentioning numbers. But and I didn't really have a number in goal. I just wanted to fit back into my old clothes, and I pretty much do now. We actually found a bag of clothes when I was in Positano the other week, which I thought had been thrown away, and there was jeans there from it must have been like 2015, 2016, and there was 2 pairs that I still didn't fit into. So I'm not smaller than I ever was. I'm roundabout right. So I'm roundabout the size I used to be, but I have been smaller than this. Right, should we go back? The last thing I want to talk about is exercise. I've had quite a few people ask, what exercise routine am I doing? Can I give tips and stuff? No, I'm not a coach. I have no experience with exercising and giving tips, and I don't want to be responsible for anybody hurting themselves. I just basically upped my walking. Now, you all know I walk a lot anyway with the dogs every morning, and I bought myself a little pedometer, even though I've got one on my phone. I was curious, there's quite a difference between the two. So I was trying to aim for like over 10,000 steps a day. I mean, 10,000 would be fine, but I was trying to walk as much as possible. So like, let's say a couple of hours of walking every day. I'd take the dogs out for a walk in the morning, and then I would be walking around the house all day with my pedometer in my pocket, which would be about 3,000 or 4,000 steps just walking around the property. And then I'd take Indy out for another walk in the afternoon, and that would pretty much get me up to 12,000 steps or so. So that was one thing. Shut up! And then I was trying to do a half-hour workout every other day. I say trying to because it's really hard when you've got things happening in your life, and sometimes you just don't have that half an hour, and when you do, you're absolutely exhausted already, and the last thing you want to do is work out. I still am trying to do the half-hour workout every day. I know that sorry, she's very excited. Seeing changes from working out takes much longer than seeing changes from changing your eating habits. So I feel like the small changes from the workouts that I'm doing, I can definitely feel changes in, as I said in the last video, from if I have to bend down and get something and squat. So a lot of the exercise I was doing are like lunges and squats and stuff, and that's definitely helped with me just sort of going down and going up again. I mean, it's just made it so much easier, which I didn't realise before how stiff and unfit I was. So that's definitely helped. I'm just doing little weights and little exercises, and I just follow 2 or 3 online coaches who do the sort of things I want. I think everybody's different with exercises. I get bored so quickly. I don't like repeat exercises. I don't like it when you have to do something for a minute and then do it on the other side, and then they make you do it again, and then they make you do it again. I just get so bored with that. So I like to just have like different things happening all the time. Sometimes I'll just go and do 15 minutes by myself. Sometimes when I'm waiting for something to boil or cook or something, I'll be in the kitchen doing this and just getting a few extras in while I'm doing that, which it probably all helps anyway. That's pretty much it. I've been in the summer, I have been swimming obviously quite a bit. I've been doing, I mean, you've seen the size of our pool, it's not exactly huge, but I've been trying to do 20 circles around the pool every day, and I think that helps a bit as well with the arms. I know I'm not going to keep that up though. As soon as it gets cool, I'm not going to be going in the pool, so that's a temporary thing, and I'll have to find something else to do instead. Maybe once it's cooler, I'll be happy to be inside doing a bit more workout. But that's it, and everything's so noisy. Squeaky birds in the tree, barking Indy, planes, yes. Anyhow, so that's basically what I've been up to. Now, I got to the point where I thought I'd lost enough weight, and I realised that I had to change my eating habits again to stop continuing losing weight. Otherwise, I would have been losing more and more and more. So I've really, really relaxed now how I've been eating, which is lucky because I've been to Positano and I've been to Austria, and now I've been through France, and now I'm in England. There's been a lot of yummy food all over the place, and I've wanted to try things. So I have let myself try bits of everything I've wanted to. I've relaxed my meals, and I'm not having big bowls of pasta and stuff, but I will have maybe once a week, I'll have a bowl of spaghetti or something. I do eat carbs, not a huge amount though. I'm not having my bread and butter and jam that I used to have so much of. And I'm just a bit more controlled and a bit more aware of what I'm putting inside myself. I can hear voices, there's people coming. Let me turn you off. Hide. So I will share some more recipes with you somehow if you're interested. I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been helpful for you. Let me know if you've got any more questions. Bye.